Your child is never trying to ruin your day. Okay, ladies, I am back and I'm recording outside. You might hear cars going by. And today I wanted to talk about something. I'm going to talk about emotions again because I love talking about this, and emotional intelligence is my jam. And this is also a huge energy leak for people. So parents and caregivers and children in general. And I feel like this is the core of everything. It's the core of business. It's the core of marriage, relationships, personal development, self-love, parenting. If you master understanding how to manage your big emotions and communication and relationships, you can master anything in your life. I've seen it firsthand in my own personal life and also with the clients that I work with. So in the spirit of the doors finally open to my Understanding Your Child's Behavior, which you can purchase right now, this moment, and get started, head on over to momisincontrol.com/sign up. We have 2 bonuses going on, and I'll be talking more about those later on. But right now, I want to tell you a story. And I do this from a place of education. I do this from a place of love and opportunity. So it's just like when you are out with a friend and your friend is into fitness or they're into nutrition and you feel like you're being judged. Those people who are not judging you are the ones that have really done the work, because we all can improve in many areas of our lives. But I was out in public and I saw this woman and her husband, and it was, my kids have done it to me too. We've all been there, where we are incredibly embarrassed by our children's behavior. They're having an epic meltdown at the wrong moment, and you're just like, oh my gosh, please don't do this to me right now. And I was with my husband and my children weren't there, and I heard this woman and husband, or man and wife, what am I trying to say? A man and a woman talking to their son, who is about 7 years old. And we were actually at a wedding, and their son was having an epic meltdown before the ceremony started. And he was crying and crying and crying because he wanted to sit somewhere else. And it really wasn't a big deal. And mom and dad, but mom kept saying, stop it right now. Get over here. We're going to leave. We're going to do this. Like, she was just throwing out all the threats. And dad did the same thing, right? And I knew they were coming from a place of like, oh my gosh, this is the worst possible moment to be having an epic meltdown and tantrum. Like, please don't do this to me right now. I don't have time for this. And so what they were doing was they weren't honoring their son's feelings because they were so overwhelmed with their own. And after, the woman came up to me. She didn't know who I am, and nor does she know that I was going to podcast about her. But she came up to me, and she just made a passive comment. She said, he's ruined my day. He's ruined my day. And she goes, oh, kids these days. She goes, I need to go to the bar. I need to drink. And I could feel her, because I remember those days. I remember the days when all I wanted to do was run away. I wanted to run away from my kids because I couldn't handle their big emotions, and nor could I handle my own. And I looked at her and I said, I hear you. I've been there. And I smiled, and that was it. No judgment. No judgment. But what I want to tell you is this woman taught me something. She showed me that this skill isn't natural. This skill doesn't just come to us. We have to be intentional about creating our emotional states. We have to do it by design, not by default. It is automatic for us to breathe. It is automatic for us to walk. There's so many things, so many parts of being human that we don't even think about. It just happens. But the thing is, if we don't stop and ask ourselves, how do I want to feel in this situation with my child? And reverse engineer our lives, not while you're in a public setting, but way before the public setting. You will never feel in control of your emotions, and neither will your children, because they won't have the tools and strategies to do so. So her child wasn't there to ruin her day. He was having a bad moment. He was overcome with emotion. And observing him, I assumed, and this is me assuming, I don't know exactly what the child was experiencing, but he was overwhelmed with big emotion. There was a lot of people, there was a lot of noise, and he couldn't do anything right. So there's definitely things that they could have done differently that would have changed how she responded and how she acted. So my aha moment for you today, the lesson for you today is just to simply ask yourself, how do I want to feel in those embarrassing emotional breakdowns? And what do I need to do well in advance to prime myself, to prepare myself emotionally, physically, spiritually, so that when my child does embarrass me, because they will, because that is their job, that's part of their job, is they want you to hold them. They need you to, or they need to know that you are going to be their emotional guardian. Their emotional guardian. So what do you need to do? That's my question for you. And if you want to know how, if you want the step-by-step guidance, then go check out the Understanding Your Child's Behavior mini course. It is simply $197. And when you join us this round, and the doors will be open for the next few weeks, I'm going to be gifting you 2 live Q&As that I will be doing with the group, and also free access to my energetic time management workshop. It's an online workshop. You get immediate access to Understanding Your Child's Behavior and my energetic time management workshop. So head on over to momsincontrol.com/sign up now. Talk soon. Hey guys, as the podcast has grown over the years, so have people asking me for advice, tips, resources, and products. So what I've decided to do is to sponsor, or not sponsor, but advertise a few products here and there that are near and dear to my heart that have transformed my life. So I want to talk about Polar for a little bit, Polar. Polar contacted me a few months back and said, and I'm going to be completely honest with you, probably too honest. They said, hey, Heather, we want to send you a watch. And I was like, why the fuck do you want to send little old Heather Chauvin a watch of the Mom is in Control podcast? I am not a fitness guru. And they said, well, that's exactly why we want to share it with you. We want you, average, everyday woman who is just here to try to feel, content in her own body and mind, showing her that you have control over how you want to feel. So they sent me this watch, and I was like, okay, what's the difference between this watch and maybe, I don't know, an iWatch? I'm not big into this technology. And it wasn't until I actually got on the phone with them when I said, listen, I am not going to advertise a product that I haven't fallen in love with. So lo and behold, I get this watch, I put it on. I'm like, okay, it's your everyday digital watch. Like, what the heck is the difference? But this Polar watch has recovery insights with nightly recharge, personalized training with FitSpark, and sleep quality insights and sleep plus stages. So what the fuck is that? So here's my point. I had to wear this watch at night, and every night, based on the workout that I did that day, and also my quality of sleep, it would tell me the next day what type of workout I could do. So this is great for the ambitious go-getter who is always, I don't know about you, but I used to be this all or nothing mentality where if I didn't work out 5 days in a row, I was a failure. So now I can actually see how my body is recovering. And the nice thing about this, when it came at the right time, is because I've really been working on my hormonal health too. So if you are not already paying attention to your quality of sleep, then I highly suggest you put the Polar, Polar watch on your holiday wish list. It has been a game changer for me to be able to have those stats, to look at them in the morning and to understand, well, maybe this is why I'm not feeling amazing. So looking at my hormones and also paying attention to the quality of sleep not only has allowed my body to recover better, but it's allowed my mind to recover better, which makes me emotionally stronger and less reactive during the day with the kids. So go check it out, Polar, POLAR.com, and let me know what you think.